NCDC draft day is upon us, and we are getting prepared with, I'll tell you, I don't like to pick favorites, but I sometimes do. This is a guy who we love to watch, whether it's on Netflix as a superstar athlete, whether it's behind the bench with the South Shore Kings. He understands the game, the ins and outs, and understands how to put together an incredible product in South Shore. Coach Drew Omicioli, draft day coming up, South Shore getting prepared. What's going on here? What are the final moments like before draft day?
We've been putting a lot of work in. We were down. I first went up to the U18 Nationals in Toronto at Mississauga, and got to see a lot of great players in that 05-06 age group. And then we're down in Fort Myers in Florida there with the Ivy League showcase as well, where they had 220 guys, 220 players. Again, a lot of those guys falling in that 05-06 draft range, for us. So we've been putting a lot of time going all over the place, compiling, what we feel is probably the top 15 to 20 players that we can draft. Obviously, our list is a lot bigger than that. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the league will be going after the same players. But we feel very confident right now that we have a very solid list of players that could step in, if it's not next year, within a 2-year period.
Now, Coach, you look at it, you talk about a lot of guys are going to be on the same lists, right? You're going to have a lot of the same names on these lists throughout the league. Is it like professional drafts here at the NCDC level? Is there some competition? Might you walk up and make a pick of a guy that someone else might want behind you in the draft right before they get to him? How much of that crossover happens here?
It's funny. In the first 3 years, it didn't happen as much as I thought it was going to. But with being in a region, and I should say with the proximity of IHC, the Junior Bruins, and the advantage, a lot of times we are going to be fighting over the same players, the homegrown players in mass, right? But overall, it's going to happen. It typically happens in the early rounds.
Yep.
But again, that's why our list is 75, 80 players deep. It's unfortunate because a lot of times you put the time in and talk to these players and get a great read on them, but it happens, and then you move to the next best player on the list and whatever particular position you're looking for, and then for that particular selection.
Now you look at the South Shore Kings organization, just so much success in there. I always go back to the Whit, always, Whit from Spit and Chicklets always talks about his time playing as a youth in the organization. And you look at South Shore, and I'm a player, I'm a parent, I'm learning about this NCDC level. What am I getting out of playing at South Shore? If I get drafted, why should I be absolutely stoked on draft day? And why should I be excited to play at the NCDC level?
Well, I just think it's a great product. Over the past 3 years that I've been here, between myself and Tyler Holsky and John Scarlett, the whole staff, we've had over 40 commitments in the past 3 years. We have 6 players that are playing professional hockey overseas. What we have, I feel we're second to none as far as our overall product, with EPS, Edge Performance Systems, our gym up here, that we currently have Mac Jones and 25 New England Patriots that are training with our guys in our facility. We had over 30 active NHLers training with us in the off season. Coyle, Hayes, Hannafin, Keith Yandel, the Iron Man. It's just we have a great product. We practice in the morning. We have 3 sheets of ice, so we have ice from 7 till 3:30. We have a great setup as far as our video room and everything that we have in place, all the assets that we have to obviously take these players that we have faith in, we have belief in, give them everything that they need to get them to the next level. And we've done that, and we want to continue to do that. And I think the route that we're taking now by going young and going 05-06 draft picks, we get that young talent. I want to get them in at a young age, and from that point we mold them and teach them the proper way to play the game, the proper way to train, the proper way to take care of their bodies. Our nutritionist deals with them. and that gets them to the next level, whatever that may be.
And coach, you have one of my favorite, I think it has to be my favorite on bench quote picked up of all time, accidentally on the mic at the All-Star game this past year at the NCDC level. I ate too many sandwiches, boys. That was picked up live on the air. So we talk about the fun that you guys have behind the bench, the fun you guys have in the organization. Coach Holsky, yourself, you talk about this whole crew here in South Shore. It's a great place to play, ladies and gentlemen. It's an opportunity to not just learn the game the right way, to not just grow yourself as an athlete and get that commitment, be one of those 40 guys in the last 3 years, but to add to what you have to offer as a person and a player. Coach, as we close this thing out, can you kind of educate? You've played at all these levels of the game, right? And you've had so much success as a player. Now you're behind the bench having success. The NCDC as a whole, where do you see this thing getting to as the draft goes younger, as the league continues to grow, as the great coaching and player development continues to happen throughout? What's the future of the NCDC look like to you?
Young, and I think the most important word in our league is development. And I think so many of these players that come in are raw. They have the skill set, they have the talent, but they need to be taught the game the proper way. They need to know systems, they need to know face-off plays, they need to know how to be responsible in their defensive zone. All those things that give them the competitive advantage over other players when they go to different camps. Collegiate coaches looking at, they're, as much as they're looking at the perks of a player, they're looking at their deficiencies, and it's trying to eliminate deficiencies in their game and make them, which everybody has to be now, a 200-foot player. But I think that the way to do that is it gets to a certain age where players are kind of set in their ways. But when you get that young player to come in and, like I said, mold him, develop him, both on and off the ice, give them a regiment that makes them have every asset that they need to fulfill their goals and dreams of playing Division I hockey. I think that's where we're going. That looks like the direction that we're heading in, and I think that's the best path that we could take. Absolutely love it. The South Shore Kings are coming at you this year. I picked them to go to the Cup this year. They just missed out. I might be picking them to win it this year. We'll see. We don't make those picks just yet, but draft day is where it all starts. Wednesday, May 11th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube.com. You can search NCDC Draft or go today to the United States Premier Hockey League on YouTube. Like and subscribe right now. Ring that bell. It'll set you up. It'll send you a reminder right to your email wherever you need it. Tune in. Draft night. It's going to be a good one.